and welcome to The Plug. I'm your host Kayleigh Nisbet.
And I'm Cleo Kinsey.
And with us today we have got Whitemoor. So I'm just going to fire away, but I promise you this will be nice and laid back. Pretty predictable question, but where did your name come from?
I'll let you answer that.
Well, I live near some playing fields in Belper that are called Whitemoor.
Yeah.
I just quite fancied calling the band that. It's nothing to do with prison or anything sinister.
No. That's one thing that did actually pop up quite a bit when I was searching for you.
Prisons
Like, Whitemoor
and
prison.
trains.
I think people hear us and go, actually no, it's not going to be after the prison, is it?
That's good to know. How do you feel that your sounds evolved from the first album to your most recent album?
Well, the first album we kind of like did it all ourselves, and with this album the most noticeable change is that we've took on an external producer. So we kind of like took a weight off our shoulders and getting someone in. But it's also gave it a new dynamic, and he basically everything that we recorded, which is how many, about 8 guitars a song,
Or at least
60,
so
and
much,
he just made everything fit through 2 speakers. Dan Lowe, the guy's name is, Kid Combat. So yeah, and I think you can tell it's more polished than the first album. I think the first album that we did was more raw. It's where we were at the time, and,
Yeah,
and this is kind of how we've evolved.
I think people are saying it's a progressive second album. Well, I'm not sure how to take that. I think that's the kind way of saying it might not be as accessible as the first one, but you know, we're happy with it, and it's the direction that we wanted to go in.
Yeah.
I mean, you must have made quite an impression because you've done work at Abbey Road, and that's such a famous spot for great legends. And like, what was the atmosphere like there, going there and knowing you were going to be working in that environment?
Yeah, it was
at the
amazing,
beginning,
wasn't it? Yeah.
it's quite daunting. Just even to set foot to the reception, I'm like, who you here to see? I'm at Abbey Road. But yeah, it was a brilliant experience, and we worked with Frank Arkwright, who's done.
Well, he's just remastered all the Smiths albums, and
Blur.
doesn't get much better than that as far as I'm concerned.
So do you ever find, like, being the only girl in the band, that you're the first girl we've had as well that we've interviewed?
Really?
Yeah. So do they ever bully you, or do you keep them in check?
Not really. It's interesting on tour. They're a bit smelly when we have to spend a week with him. I have to sit in the same room as them. But it's not bad. It's all right.
I was going to say, I've noticed that you're like rocking the floral ensemble as well. So like,
lovely.
Yeah, I mean, do you think that plays a big part in, like, I know expressing your music's important, but do you feel that your look as well sort of helps guide the way you're portraying?
Yeah, we all have our own little look. I don't normally wear this for gigs. We normally go for the dark black.
Yeah, this is the acoustic look.
Yeah.
We were a bit chilled out today.
So if you were going to sort of describe your sound and describe what people expect from Horizons, how would you sort of summarise it up then?
Similar to the first album in that respect, kind of like anthemic indie power pop rock, but also melodic songs.
Yeah, there's a lot of big string and brass and choir arrangements. I mean, it's something that 2 years has gone into this album, so you can imagine the amount of work that's involved. So don't just expect an album with like one guitar and one bass and some drums, because that isn't it. It's very symphonic. There's a lot going on.
And also, I believe you guys were you on the front cover of Spotify last week? Someone
Yeah,
told
we
me.
were quite pleased to see that, wasn't we?
Surprise!
Really,
Yeah, please, yeah.
That's a big momentous
They
occasion.
recommended it, so go and buy it.
Well, we'll definitely check it out.
Yeah.
And now we're about to hear him play their single Highlights.
Points and opinions count. I can't help but hear them out and take it to heart. I don't need a crowd of thoughts clouding up my mind. I need you to clear them out. Free me from delusion and let my illusion disappear. I will rejoice to hear your voice of reason. Rejoice the frequent stars shine. Stars come out, materialize. Day or night, you bring highlights to my life. There's nothing but love for you from mine. Nothing but love, nothing but love, nothing but love. People's points and opinions count. I need you to clear them out. Free me from delusion and let my illusion disappear. I will rejoice to hear your voice of reason. I can't ignore the frequent stars shine. Stars come out, materialize. Day or night, you bring highlights to my life. There's nothing but love for you from mine. I take all the punishments, trade it all for your ignorance. I can't face the consequence. A life without stars. You bring highlights to my life. Yeah, you bring highlights to my life. You bring highlights to my life. There's nothing but love for you from mine. There's nothing but love for you from mine. Thank you.